Hello, it's Chris with Protect Your Children Incorporated. So the last video we did was the 3-step predators playbook. 3-step predators playbook. That is to desensitize, then hypersexualize, and then move in for the abuse. Now, the desensitize and hypersexualize can also be known as grooming, right? Now, there's a lot more things that are involved in grooming, but those two are major factors in the grooming process. Obviously, a predator does not want a challenge. They want to get a child to agree, quote unquote, to do stuff with them, right? And if they think that they can convince a child that it's not bad, that it's okay, then there's less chance the child will tell on them and get them in trouble, and less chance that the child will resist. So they want to desensitize, then hypersexualize the child, and then they can move in for their attack. Before we start, I'm going to invite you to check out protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org. Tons of great resources. Everything is free. The in-depth protection packet will go through these things in a little bit more detail and also give you a whole lot of information that you can go over with your kids on how to keep them safe from online and community predators. So in this video, I want to look at desensitize, hypersexualize, and then how these predators pounce on their prey. Okay? So desensitize, to make someone insensitive, right? To basically remove the shock of something, to remove inhibitions to something. So if a child is taught by, say, you the parent, that sexual activity is wrong, okay, until a certain age or until a certain time, okay, that's something that the child may feel a conviction about. It's something that they're standing solid on. It's something that you have taught them, and they're just not going to budge, right? So that means they're very sensitive to that. So they might see something or hear something or hear that their friends are doing something, and they're like, nope, don't want nothing to do with it. Don't want nothing to do with it. Don't want nothing to do with it. But you've heard the analogy perhaps of the frog in the boiling water. Okay, you can put a frog in water and then slowly turn up the heat. Okay, just keep raising the heat. And that frog will not jump out of that water because it's happening so gradually they do not realize that they're being boiled to death. Now, see, this process is very similar to what predators will do, right? People think that a predator is going to come out of nowhere and they're just going to immediately try to attack a child. Usually does not happen that way. Okay? Usually there's a process called the grooming process. There's an ongoing process. Okay? Now, desensitize, just like that frog. It's happening so slowly that he doesn't realize he's being boiled to death. Okay? You got to ask yourself, are you as a parent or are your children being desensitized, or have they been desensitized to things that you know are dangerous, simply because they've seen it and heard it so much? Okay, think about it. There were things decades ago that would never be accepted today, okay, that now are. How does that happen? Okay, you have to desensitize people to it. You have to convince people that it's not that bad. There are some people that think it's bad, but really, it's not bad. It's okay. Look, everyone else is doing it. It's trending. It's cool. It's okay. You may have heard through religion or through your parents or through somewhere that sex, when you're young is not good. But you know what? They're just wrong, right? So parents, ask yourself, are your kids being desensitized? Do you see behaviors in them that are sexual in nature that you never thought you'd actually see? That they wouldn't normally do or didn't used to do that they do now? Are they talking in a way with making sexual innuendos, sexual comments, things that they shouldn't be doing and saying, right? That they didn't used to, but now they are. You got to keep an eye on what they're watching, what they're listening to, what kind of people they're talking to, what their friends are doing. Yes, parents, this is a lot of work, but you know what? Is it important enough? Because I'll tell you what, once you get desensitized, then you don't care anymore. That means a predator, if they can desensitize your kids, then they can get that child to do things that the child at one time would never do. Okay? Now, this happens in a lot of ways. I mentioned movies, music, social media, kids at school, trying to keep up with what's popular and trendy. There's a concerted effort, a conspiracy, if you will, to desensitize your kids to things that you once taught them were wrong. Okay? The next step is to hypersexualize. The kids' hormones have to be triggered. Okay? You've got to get the child, the predator has to get the child to want to and desire to get engaged in the things that they now see aren't that bad. Okay? So this can happen through repeatedly seeing images of a sexual nature. Young children seeing naked bodies on TV or on the internet, or viewing pornography, or listening to songs that describe sex acts as something that's so happy, right? Talking to their friends, looking at social media, watching Disney, for crying out loud. Disney has gone to the toilet. They are promoting a lot of sexual innuendo and sexual things in their shows, and they say it's for the parents that watch. No, it's not. The kids pick up on it, and it just registers in their brain. And just like that frog in the water, as your child's going through the culture, a little at a time, a little at a time, a little at a time, the heat's being turned up. And eventually, it's not so bad. Then you have underage pregnancies. You have high rates of STDs among teenagers, which are right now the highest than they've ever been. This is what's happening because they're no longer seeing something as wrong. Now, just like a drug, predator will introduce a child to pornography and to sexual things in order to trigger their hormones, trigger their emotions, produce the good feeling that sex naturally has, but it's not appropriate and healthy for a child, obviously. But a predator will try to compromise that and use that to their advantage. So does your child have unlimited access to the internet? Unfiltered, not parental controlled, right? What are they looking at on their phone? Are they viewing pornography? Are they looking at movies and videos and sexual content themed material? Are they? Are they? You have to be careful to find out. You have to be nosy. We always say be nosy. So desensitize, hypersexualize them, get the hormones charged up, right? Once you have those two things, then a predator can make their move. And they're expecting that there'll be the less resistance as possible. Now, I will say this, as we round up here, there are two types of abuse. There is this grooming, gradual process, and then there is a physically forced with threats of violence and blackmail, and that's another type of abuse that takes place, and we'll discuss that in another video. But right now we're talking about the grooming process and the process to desensitize, hypersexualize your children so that these predators can attack. And we're finding out that the predators, they could be teachers, they could be in the church, they're in the community, after school programs, they could be everywhere. Could be married, single, male, female, young, old, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. Once your child has been desensitized and their hormones have been triggered and they now have an appetite for sex, because that's what happens when a child's going through puberty, right? They start to desire more about sex and what they want to know and questions. Once that happens, predators can pounce. And you got to keep your eyes aware of these things, Okay? So that's it. Desensitize, hypersexualize, and then the abuse takes place. All right? Thanks for watching. Again, check out the website, protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org. Visit the website, take advantage of all the free resources. Also, see how you can help us out. We need your help. We are a 501c3 not-for-profit organization. We do not sell anything. We need to get this information out. Okay, YouTube is going to limit this video to maybe 10 views. It will not get spread out. Facebook is shadow banning our organization in order to try to force us to pay to promote the material that we put on Facebook, where it's not getting out to a lot of people. So we do have to pay money to get this information out to thousands of parents, thousands of kids, which help keep them safe. So if you can help us out with a donation, tax-free, visit our website, protectyourchildren.org. If you can't, we understand that. There's other ways that you can help. You can put a magnetic bumper magnet on your car that's got our website and logo on it. We'll send that to you for free. We can send you pamphlets that you can hand out, business cards, whatever you need. You can like, share the content, retweet, all of that stuff. Let's get this information out to tons of parents, tons of kids, tons of people that want to protect children so we can keep them safe from online and community predators. So thank you for watching. Until next time, this is Chris with protectyourchildren.org. Stay safe, stay focused, and keep protecting.